What's up everybody? I just got back from the movie theaters and today I'm going to do a review on the movie Annihilation. So let's get started. The overall plot of this film, there is an asteroid that hits Earth and creates a shimmer and begins to spread more and more. So then there's a group of scientists that they get together because they need to figure out what is this shimmer and is it harmful to humanity? Oh, what's the purpose of this? So they're still trying to figure it out, what kind of harm this thing could create, this shimmer. And that's where the character of Natalie Portman comes on. She, along with another group of women, decide to go inside the shimmer and see what is going on in there. My first impressions of the film, this is a very beautiful sci-fi. I went to film school, so one of the things that I really appreciate is beautiful cinematography. And this movie is filled with that, beautiful shots, colors. A lot of it looked like a painting, They had a lot of very beautiful wide shots where everything was just so stunning, the whole creation of the setting, or it was very interesting to watch. It did look like a beautiful painting. If you love watching visually stunning films, you probably will enjoy this one. The acting was pretty good in general. I love Natalie Portman. She's one of my favorite actresses. And also Oscar Isaac. Poe from Last Jedi. So we have Padme and Poe over there. So I did enjoy that performance. The movie is overall very slow paced. So if you are the kind of person that you just want to see action and blowing and shoot and things like that, that's probably not the film for you, because this film does drags. However, again, because the cinematography is so beautiful, I didn't mind so much when it was dragging, because I thought the story was quite interesting. However, that was not my same thoughts towards the end, but I'll get there. Nowadays, we are bombarded with this crazy action-packed films, insane CGI, that sometimes when I watch the slow-paced film, I enjoy it. The movie also asked a lot of very profound questions about life, about consciousness, about biology, about self-destruction. And so these themes are pretty interesting. Could also say that the ending is up to interpretation, because it's not a very clear ending over there. And that's one of the things that I really did not like. I don't mind slow-paced films. However, I love a clever payoff towards the end. So to me, a movie that ends and it's kind of up to interpretation, it has a lot of loose ends, and I don't like that. Like clear narrative and a specific explanation at the end, which is like the resolution. And I was very intrigued to find out what exactly was going on when they go inside that shimmer. They do encounter obviously some obstacles, and there's a lot of like mystical things going on, and I love those kind of things, like mystery, and you have to find out and guess what is going on here and what's going on there. I would have liked it more if towards the end there was a big payoff. Again, a movie, it's way more than just beautiful cinematography, visual effects and things like that, or music itself. To me, what is most interesting about a film is the story and the development of the characters. And I believe that this film, it does have some development in characters there, especially the whole explanation behind self-destruction. I thought all of that was very interesting, but it could have been better, Okay, so let's talk spoilers. From now on, if you haven't seen the film, please stop the video right now and just come back after, once you're done watching the film, so you can hear my thoughts. So I did love the whole thing about the self-destruction things, because that's very human nature, We do tend to destroy, kind of self-destruct good things that are going on in our lives, and I thought that theme in particular was very relatable. And like Natalie Portman, for instance, had something really good going on in her marriage, and then she betrays her husband and he finds out, and that's the reason why he actually decides to get into the shimmer. So the whole thing with the shimmer is that the big mystery is that whoever went in to try to figure out what's going on in there had never returned. So obviously they know that whoever are the volunteers deciding to go inside the shimmer, they're basically risking their lives because they don't know what's going on in there, So when the movie begins, we see Natalie Portman, and she's teaching a class, and I believe she's a biologist. She's talking about self-destruction from the very beginning. She's giving this lecture about the cancer cells and how they destroy the body and things like that. And she has a very sad look. The movie is not very linear, you know, it cuts back. So there's a lot of flashbacks and things that happened before the present events. Then we find out that the reason why she looks so sad is because she actually betrayed her husband, and he found out. He decided to go on this suicide mission and go inside the shimmer. However, he did manage to get out of the shimmer, and there's a lot of mystery surrounding all of this because there's no clear explanation. He can't really explain what he's seeing or what he is or what happened. That was one of the things that was interesting. So yeah, so I do love mystery and try to figure out what it is. Those things keep me really into the film. You know, I really want to know, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Like, is he an alien? Like, what's going on? I really dig this kind of things. So I knew that eventually she was going to go inside the shimmer, and that's the part where I couldn't wait to get to. However, again, remember I told you in the beginning, the movie is very slow paced. So it does build up a little bit until it gets to the point where they all decide, there's this group of women and they all decide to go in. The other interesting thing as well is that these group of women that go inside the shimmer, they're all going through some problems in their own lives. So they kind of don't really give a crap if they live or die. Like a lot of them don't even have a reason to come back. From all the women that go inside, the only person that really has a reason to come back is Natalie Portman. So she feels like she should go in and try to get some explanation from it. And Natalie Portman feels guilt over what she's done to her husband. So she decides to go in and figure it out because, again, the shimmer is spreading. And because they know everyone that goes in doesn't come out, it is kind of a threat. So they need to figure out a way to stop this. The interesting thing is when they go inside, the place is very beautiful. They do encounter some sort of monsters or animal mutation, you would say, like that. And then some people get killed. Basically what they're trying to do is to get to the lighthouse, because at the lighthouse, it was the striking point from this meteor that came from out of space. But along the way, when they're trying to get there, one by one are getting killed off. When she gets to this lighthouse, she sees this camera staring at this corpse that is on the floor, completely burned, and she decides to watch the camera. And on the camera, something very surprising happens. She sees her husband open a grenade and just committing suicide. And right after he blows off, another thing that looks like him appears on camera and looks at the camera. So that tells the audience that the guy that was outside the shimmer was actually not her real husband, because her real husband got so messed up inside that shimmer that he killed himself and he died. So whoever was out, it was that shimmer that took his shape, or that alien, I don't know. And then she looks to the side and there's this hole on the floor, and then obviously she goes in, and I'm there screaming to myself, do not go in, like, are you kidding me? I would never go inside that hole. But whatever, she goes in, it's just a movie. And then when she goes in, she sees her other colleague is in there, the only one that is still alive. And she said that whatever was in there is inside of her, and then that it's gonna consume her. And there's a lot of light, and then it seems like she's catching on fire, but it's not really fire. And then it becomes, after this lady disappears into this light and fire, whatever that was, it becomes this weird thing that then it starts taking shape. There's some blood in Natalie Portman's face, and this thing kind of absorbs the blood from her face. I mean, it has her DNA, and then this thing begins to take some form and shape that it looks like a human. And she's still there just watching this thing, and I'm like, girl, get out of there. So maybe this is one of the things that kind of surprised me, is the fact that I was expecting some sort of like alien scary thing where it was gonna be like crazy music and like some kind of chase over there, and this thing was gonna become a monster. But this thing just starts to create another human form, and it was very weird. And then finally she decides to run away, okay? And then she's running away through that same hole, right? And when she's out of the hole, back into the lighthouse again, this thing is already there. And I go, oh my God. So it teletransported himself or itself already towards the outside. And then she runs towards the door, but the thing does not let her escape. And then they kind of have a fist fight there until she's knocked out on the floor. But the interesting thing about it is that she defeats the thing, or so it seems, with calmness and not with fist fight and force, you know. She becomes very calm and touches the thing and uses a grenade and leaves it in its hand and then runs away. And that's how she was able to destroy it. But the weird thing about it all is that there's no clear explanation. Was this thing actually evil? What was its plan, you know? So it's very up to interpretations. So that's technically how she destroys the whole shimmer. When she's back at the lab, we have all these scientists grilling her, asking her all sorts of questions, and some of it she's able to answer. And then at the very end, she asks about her husband. The scientist tells her, when the shimmer disappeared, your husband went back to normal. She goes in this room to see him, and that was the weirdest part. You know, she goes inside this room and her husband there is sitting looking at her, and she knows that that's not her husband. So she asks him something like, are you my husband? Something like that. I don't remember exactly what she says, but basically she said, are you you? And he said, I don't think so. And then I think he asks her, are you yourself? And then they hug. There's a cut to her husband's eyes, and there's a shimmer, and there's something shining in his eyes. There's also something shining in her eyes, and then that's the ending. So yeah, so the ending is a little bit crazy, because then you don't really know why are their eyes shining, you know. It's very clear, at least with the images, that Natalie Portman herself was the one that escaped, and she was able to kill the thing that took her form. However, because her eyes is shining at the end, was it really her? Or was it the thing that escaped? But it doesn't make much sense. And I didn't really like the fact that there's no really explanation. What was this thing, you know? So in my opinion, this film is not for everyone. You know, a lot of people might not like it. But if you love sci-fi, you love watching beautiful visuals, and you don't mind slow-paced film, you might enjoy this. But don't be too exciting expecting a huge payoff at the end, because it builds up and it builds up and there's all these crazy things, but at the end there's not clear explanation. So if you don't mind that, by all means go watch it. So guys, this is my movie review for today. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Annihilation. This is my movie review for today. Movie review. That was my movie review. This is my movie review. This is my movie review for today. Review. Gosh.